probably a snook right here. Good way to start the morning. Fishing up here in Fort Pierce. He's got me grassed now, up in the grass. But we got just thousands of little minnow baits out here, little pilchards and small little baits, and working these little schools of minnows. Some scattered finger mullet in with them, and looking for a big trout, but I believe we've got us a nice snook here. Nice little fish. I believe he's done worn himself out. Here we can see what he's recently had to eat. It's right here. He's spitting it up. There's a crab. There's a crab right down in his mouth there. See that little crab? And a lot of people don't know snook dip, but they do eat crabs. Beautiful little fish. He's probably right at 26 or 27 inches. Good way to start the day. All right, little fella, we'll let you go here. There we go. Beauty. You know, one thing you want to make sure you do is that when you're fishing these shallow flats, that you work your lure slow enough to where your lure will stay near the bottom. You generally want to throw out, and don't throw too far, but you know, a nice easy cast. You don't want to get too far away from the boat because you lose a lot of control with what you're doing. But you let the lure sink to the bottom, and then you give it a couple of little taps, and then you let it sink back to the bottom, and you give it a couple of little taps. And in this case, the current is moving this way, so you want to throw your lure up current and fish it back with the current. As a general rule, small bait fish swim along with the current or diagonally in the current. And every so often they will swim against it, but as a general rule, they swim with the current. So a more natural presentation is to work your lure with the current. And what we have here is a nice grass flat that tapers off into deeper water. So we're throwing the lure up into a relatively shallow, maybe a foot deep, and then as we work it out, we'll work the lure out, pausing, twitching and pausing and letting the lure get back down to the bottom. I use a 1/8 ounce jig head because I don't want it to sink into the grass as to just lay on top of the grass. So far we haven't really had any weed problems. The water's fairly clean. There's a couple of little pieces of floating scattered grass that I don't worry too much about, but you want to let that lure sink back down to the bottom whenever possible and just work along the edge, letting that lure bounce down the face of that contour. Back there were a whole lot more minnows, and now there's not that many minnows out here. I think we got some mullet. We got some minnows up here. There's a little tern bird just dove, something right there, but I don't see as many little minnows, and that's another thing you really want to look for fishing for trout or snook in the river is look for birds diving and look for small baits, little white bait or pilchards or glass minnows, because that will definitely indicate the presence of predators. Nice little trout. Not giant, but nonetheless a trout. A speckled sea trout. Come on, little fella, calm down. Now this is a lovely little critter. Beautiful little fish. A couple of teeth that hold fish. That's all these do is just hold their prey. These teeth do nothing more than hold their prey, and then they just are able to get it in their mouth in a position that will enable them to swallow it. Nice little trout. Or this might be a little snook, actually. No, I think it's a little. Yeah, it's a snook. Little baby snook. A little snooklet. Whoa. Maybe he ain't so little. Nice little fella. Come on. There we go. Boy, he wants to be under that boat. You're not a dolphin. Light drag. Get all this guy's worth. Fun little fish. Ah, look at that. Oh, almost came out. There we go. Nice little critter. Now go get bigger. Go get a lot bigger. And make lots of little snook. Mighty ladyfish. Excellent. Just the way we like them. Gone. Okay, we're out of here on this note. They have moved into this area. Fantastic. Next spot. loosen up that drag. No idea. Might be a flounder. Fighting mighty strange. Nope, it's a grouper. Yep. Nice little gag grouper. Fine little beast. They get up here. Sometimes you catch them up to, you know, just legal 22, 24 inches. But that there is about what most of them are. Small. We've had good days up here where we've caught as many as 8 or 9 of those, which makes for good fun. It's always fun when the rod's bent. This might be a jack. Nope, we don't need to film this. Oh, wait a second, it's not what I thought it was. It's a blue runner, I thought it was a catfish. The kingfish bait. It's actually a very good eating fish. I will never find out, but I've been told they're absolutely fantastic. What, pray tell, have we here? Pretty good critter, whatever it is. Probably another grouper. Feels sort of grouperish. Yep. Almost a mirror image of the other one. Second grouper. Nice little gag on a DOA Cal. Perfect little lure for in here. 1/8 ounce jig head. Grouper, let's see. Blue runner, grouper, snook, trout. And ladyfish. That's a slam. Sort of a trash can slam. That's a big old jack, huh? That's a really big jack. That's the kind of jack you want to catch, right? Ooh, baby. It's got to be a jack or something. But I don't know. He's going to take me round and round. Probably another grouper.